Welcome everybody to another episode of Latifs Inspired. Today I'm going to do a phenomenal dish for you. This is the chicken pilau. Traditionally it's called the yakhni pilau, or in Bangladesh we call it akhni pilau. It's cooked with the chicken stock, and the rice is going to be cooked, so it's not parboiled rice whacked onto the top like a biryani. This is going to be very flavorful, and it's going to be absolutely gorgeous if you follow it to my steps. I put it up on Instagram and everybody wanted the recipe, so I thought I'll make the recipe on my YouTube channel. So watch till the end, and if you like and enjoyed what I do, put in a like and comment section and subscribe and press that bell icon when the new videos come. So hopefully let's crack onto this wonderful dish, the chicken yakhni pilau.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Right, let me show you this wonderful array of ingredients. Right, I'm going to use half a cup of oil, and I've got these spices. I've got these whole spices because I'm going to toast it and I'm going to add it. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. So fennel seeds, coriander seeds, cumin seeds, and I'm putting in my little secret, which most of the British people use, is the curry powder. And I know chefs out there might be saying, why the heck am I using curry powder? But curry powder is a British thing, and I make my own, so you can use general curry powder from any supermarkets. East End brand is the one I recommend. For the rice, I'm going to be using milk powder, so make sure you watch till the end how I'm going to assemble all the ingredients. I've got some basmati rice. This is 4 cups of basmati rice. You can use, the best one I would recommend is a type of rice called the Cellar rice. It's very long and it's very good for this type of recipe. Your chilies, your coriander, onions, ginger, garlic, an array of garam masala. I'll go through it when I do. Right, this is 1 kg of chicken. I've got the drumsticks and the thighs. They're my favorite parts. I've kept the skin on because it's going to be very tender and soft and succulent. So I'm going to show you the cooking process now. Bismillah. So what I'm going to do, I've got a nice hollow sort of pan. I'm going to toast all the spices. So here's the coriander seeds. This is 1 tablespoon of coriander seeds, 1 tablespoon of fennel seeds, and 1 tablespoon of cumin. So when you toast it, it just brings out the natural oils, and then I'm going to sort of put it in a pestle and mortar and smash it up. This is going to lift all that flavor from all the spices. So I'm going to heat this up on a high gas. Should be done in a few minutes. Right, I mean, this is very fragrant and very aromatic, and the fennel seeds sort of aniseedy flavor, but the fragrance is very, very, very aromatic. So when you've got light little smoke coming up, I don't know if you can see a light little smoke, that's when it's ready. So I'm going to move it away from the gas and get my pestle and mortar. You can see a slight little smoke. As soon as you take it off the pan, and if you do this ASAP, oh, this fragrance, absolutely stunning. I mean, this is a bit extra. You can just whack it in whole spices into the yakhni, into the chicken stock. But when you do this, it just takes it to the next level. So you've got a nice little granite pestle and mortar. Make use of it, and if you do this, you're going to have wonderful flavors in that pilau rice. So ground it up to a nice little powder, and then we'll go to the next process. Here you go. You can see that lovely powder. So you can't always get fennel seeds, but you can definitely get cumin powder and coriander powder. So fennel, you might need to get it whole and do what I've done. Now let's start making the chicken stock, which is the yakhni. Right, for the yakhni, 1 onion, 1-inch cubed of ginger. Right, there's about 10-12. It's a small bulb of garlic, so I'm using the whole bulb. 8 to 10 green chilies. For the garam masala, 3 bay leaf, about 3-inch CASIA bark, which is the Bangladeshi cinnamon. 1 star anise, it's just for the aromatic fragrance. About 8 clove, about 8 cardamom, and 1 teaspoon of peppercorn. This is 1 kg of chicken legs and thigh pieces, skin on. And 6 cups of water. Boiling hot water cooks it faster. I'm using 4 cups of rice. And for this rice, sometimes if you're using basmati, it changes. Sometimes you need a bit more water, sometimes you need a bit less water. I'm cooking, the ratio is, if I'm using 1 cup, then I'm using 1.5 cup of water. So hence it's the 6 cups. So there you go. Make sure you put it on a high gas. Sorry, I mean a medium gas, and you cook it for half an hour. So everything's added, and now all the spices go in. There you go. And the spice has gone in, and now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of salt. Give it a nice little mix. When it's boiling, it'll all marry up together anyway. And I'm using 1 tablespoon of curry powder. There you go. This will give a lot of flavour to the chicken stock, which I'm going to be making for the rice. Put a lid on, and we're going to come back to it in exactly half an hour. Ladies and gentlemen, the chicken's boiling away in a nice little simmer. It's not boiling to boiling. Right, now let's get ready to for the next stage of the cooking of the yakhni pilao. So I have, this is half a cup of just normal vegetable oil. That goes in. This is 2 heaped tablespoons of ghee. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's basically about 15 minutes the chicken yakhni is been cooking. Looks wonderful, smells very fragrant and aromatic. The colour is how I want it. Absolutely gorgeous. So basically, I'm cutting a bit of time over here. So while this is cooking for another 15 minutes, I've heated up the oil and the ghee, and I'm adding 1 sliced onion. Bismillah. So when it goes slightly golden, in a few minutes time, I'll be adding the next ingredients. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a few minutes. There's some lovely caramelization on the onions, and there's a fair bit of oil and ghee over here to make sure this sort of caramelizes wonderfully. And now we're adding, this is 2 tablespoons of ginger and 1 tablespoon of garlic. Use fresh ingredients, guys. I know there are pastes. This gives a lovely pungent sort of flavor. It's very important. So, but like if you want to use the paste, it's fine. But I would highly recommend you use the fresh ingredients. So ginger and garlic goes in. And we just want to soften everything up. Now I'm adding 1 teaspoon of whole cumin. I know there's plenty of cumin in the stock, but this just has a slight little nuttiness and a bite to it. And I like seeing it whole, which is going to be very nice in every bite you take off the rice. I'm not adding the salt, because when you add the salt it just draws out all the moisture from the onions. So I want a fried sort of flavour of all these ingredients. So I'm cooking it until it's nice and golden, but I will season this with a bit of salt a bit later. So far this cooking process is about 4 to 5 minutes on these onions, and the chicken is on a boiling simmer. It's been about 20 minutes, so 10 more minutes and hopefully this will be softened up by then. I'll lower the gas and I'm going to add the next ingredients to this. So this was on a medium gas, and now I'm going to lower the gas to a very low gas, medium low. I'm going to cook this out for another good 10 minutes. Right, ladies and gentlemen, if you see over here, it's on a very low gas. So all the onions are caramelizing wonderfully. But if you feel, depending on your gas or the electric hob, sometimes it can be too hot. And if you find it going a bit more darker, you can always add a bit of water. And some people do add a bit of water, close the lid and cook it for the last 5-10 minutes. But this is how I like it. So there you go, and the chicken is cooking away. Let me show you this. I mean, this looks absolutely gorgeous. Lovely little simmer. All the flavour from the chicken is coming to this amazing stock, and all that garam masala and everything is just cooking wonderfully. So we've got another 5-6 minutes left on this. And this, like I said, you can always add a bit of water. But I'm not going to, but if I need to, I will do. Like over here, if you've got it. In fact, I'm going to put a bit of water and just show you. Guys, to obviously for the onion emphasis, so just a bit of water there. And because I've added the water, I'm going to crank up the heat to a medium or a medium high. It's fine. And this is going to soften up all these lovely onions, ginger and garlic. So I've got 5 more minutes. And I timed it to 30 minutes for my chicken to get done. And while this is happening, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. So this is going to help all the onions and everything to soften up. And this also has a lovely colour and flavour. Flavour of fried onions and the flavour fried sort of garlic and ginger is absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. Here you go. Steaming away. You can always put a lid onto here. But I want the liquid to evaporate. So that's why I put it on a medium heat. I'm going to cook this. I've got 4 more minutes left before I add the next ingredients. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been good 30 minutes. So I've added half a cup of water to soften up all the onions, and it's drawn out all the moisture. So now I'm going to put the gas down to a medium low, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to fish out the chicken from this amazing chicken stock. So if you're wondering why did I leave the skin on, traditionally this dish is cooked with lamb, mutton or beef, and we use the gelatinous flavour from the bone marrow brings out the flavour. So that's why I left the skin on, to draw out that fattiness, and when that fattiness and the rice, it goes absolutely gorgeous. So here you go, I'm going to start adding it into the onions. So right, I've transferred all the chicken, and now I'm going to transfer the sauce. the chicken stock, sorry. See that? If you follow these steps, it will make your life a lot easier. And I've calculated, I've added 6 cups of water, and I've put it on a medium sort of simmer. So therefore, it's not gonna, the water isn't gonna evaporate from here. So from the sieve, just take out, and you press it down here, that you get a bit more of that garlic and the onions. And I've got no chili powder here, that's why I've used some green chilies for a bit of flavour. So there you can see these lovely caramelized onions. Now I'm putting the heat up back to a medium high. And now the stock is already hot, the chicken's in there, now all that's left is the rice. Right, here's the rice. So I washed it and I soaked it. Some people leave it in water for a good half an hour. You can do that if you wish. But because I've got the water measurements, 4 cups of rice to 6 cups of water, it should be ideal. Sometimes if you leave it in water for a good half an hour or so, basically it eats up some of the water, it absorbs some of the water, and the measurements aren't right, sort of thing. But let me get all the rice in. So all the rice is in now. It's looking wonderful. I'm going to let this cook for a bit because there's a few more ingredients that is left. Let this come to a boil and we'll come back to it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to mention some frozen vegetables. You can add peas if you want, but I've got some frozen vegetables. It gives a lovely little colour. So what I'm going to do, I'll just put it on the tap and then, there you go. It's looking absolutely wonderful. And you can see quickly the water and the stock is, the rice is absorbing it. So now I'm adding some green chilies. They go in. Now this is about 8. I've added 8 before and about 8 now. You can add 8 to 10. There's no chili powder in here, so it's the green chilies and the peppercorn which is going to give it the spice. Now I'm adding, this is 4 tablespoons of milk powder. If you don't have milk powder, you could have used 5 cups of water to 1 cup of milk. But milk powder has got more flavour than just your normal milk because it's got nice sweetness to it. And this is a Bangladeshi thing, adding the milk powder. If you see on my video, I made a Shahi chicken biryani when I went to Bangladesh. And this is where that inspiration comes from, adding the milk powder. And they also add raisins and fresh coconut. So if you want to see me making a smaller portion, make sure you put it on the comment section and I will do that for you. But this is a fantastic chicken yakhni dish. So I'm following the rules, but I'm always adding my little tips. So my tip is the curry powder and the milk powder is going to be beautiful, and the cumin seed. There you go. Now I'm going to have to start getting the foil ready so it locks in all the steam. At this point as well, you can add aloo bukhar, which is the dried plum. But I'm not going to. This is still on a medium-high heat. When you see the less of the water, that's when we're going to lock it all in. Smells amazing. Very fragrant, very aromatic. Now, when you feel with your spoon, some of the grains of rice sticking, because obviously that's the starch. Put the gas to a lowest point, and when you see the little bubbles like this, that's when you know the water is sort of absorbed by the rice and it's ready for the next technique, which is very simple. You need to lock in all of that steam. So there's the foil, lid goes on, get yourself a nice cloth. And this process, once you locked in all the steam with the foil, let me show you the bottom bit. Sorry, please. Just lock it in like this. There you go. That's locked in. And now this hob, is a bit smaller, so I'm transferring it from here, and I'll put it onto the lowest possible heat, and I'm going to time it exactly 20 minutes. So on my clock, if you see over here, 42, so 20 minutes time, I'll be checking up on the rice, but I'm going to turn the gas off and leave it for a good 10 minutes. So now this is the crucial part. Make sure you watch your clock and you get it right. So you're on the lowest heat. So you want the steam to cook all the rice. This is going to make the rice fluffy and cooked to perfection. So we're going to wait 20 minutes from now, guys. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I've got 20 minutes to kill, so I'm going to cook a lovely vegetable curry as a side dish. So I'm thinking I'm going to show you a nice little kidney bean and potato curry. While the vegetables cooking, now this has been exactly 20 minutes. You can see some of the steam coming out. There you go. It needs to be locked in, but the steam is coming out. So basically, turn the gas off, and now we're going to let this rest for another good 10 minutes at a time. Please do not, I know you're going to get tempted to see how the rice is, but leave it for a good 10 minutes. I promise you, you need that steam to cook the rice. Now, all the onions have softened up to this lovely vegetable dish. Some of the onions and garlic sort of stuck to the bottom. So, just add a bit of water. Just a few drops. This is cooking on a medium gas. And now, we're going to add the spices. Right, ladies and gentlemen, rice has been resting for a good 10 minutes. Now this is the moment of truth. I've actually forgotten to put the coriander. So before you put the foil on, you meant to add the coriander, which I didn't do, but I can add it now, it's fine. Let's have a look. Bismillah. It's always anxious and nervous. Moment of truth. I need a drum beat for this actually. Voila. Yo, yo, yo. Look at that. Look at that. That is amazing. Wow. Wow. It's steaming away. Oh, wow. Look at that coriander. Phenomenal. Look at that. Wow. Wow, look at that. Amazing. Lovely juicy, succulent chicken. Look at that. Beautiful. Amazing colour. I mean, this is what Yakhni Pilaf rice is all about. Absolutely phenomenal. Beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful. Now this is a one pot delight. Gorgeous. So a nice little mix. Oh, look at that. Chicken. This is the piece de resistance. Amazing. We'll zoom into this. This looks wonderful. Steaming away. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed this vlog and you enjoyed the little tips and recipe, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more fantastic videos at Latifs Inspired. Thank you very much. See you soon.
For me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.